Latest Arsenal news. Noni Madueke injury scare after Arsenal vs Man City clash. Subscribe to our channel to get daily Arsenal breaking news and analysis through voice. Listen to the news and let us know what kind of news you want in the comments. Let's get started. Arsenal's relentless battle with injuries has taken another worrying twist after fresh concerns emerged surrounding Noni Madueke in the aftermath of the 1-1 draw against Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium. The winger, who has quickly established himself as a fan favorite following his switch from Chelsea in the summer, was forced off at half-time with a knee problem, leaving supporters and coaching staff deeply concerned about the extent of the damage. Madueke's arrival in North London was seen as a statement of intent, a player capable of easing the burden on Bukayo Saka while bringing a directness and spark to the attack. In recent weeks, he has carried that responsibility impressively, stepping into the spotlight with confidence and producing performances full of flair and energy. Against Manchester City, in a first half dominated by tactical battles, he looked sharp and threatening down the right-hand side. Yet just before the break, he was seen limping and clutching his knee, grimacing towards the bench before eventually being withdrawn at the interval. Mikel Arteta was quick to clarify that the decision was injury-related rather than tactical. "No, I think he had an issue very early in the match, and he wasn't well enough to continue," the manager explained when pressed after the final whistle. That revelation sparked immediate concerns about the severity of the problem, with scans now scheduled to determine the extent of any ligament or cartilage damage. For Arsenal, already stretched by a raft of injuries in the opening weeks of the campaign, the prospect of losing another key attacker is a nightmare scenario. Madueke's arrival in North London can't be understated. At just 23 years old, he has already demonstrated a maturity and adaptability that has allowed him to fill the void left by Bukayo Saka's recent absence. His ability to drive at defenders, link play intelligently, and contribute in the final third has added a new dimension to Arsenal's attack. Losing him for any significant period would not only weaken Arteta's immediate options, but also disrupt the rhythm that has been slowly developing among the forward line. The timing of this setback only compounds the frustration. Arsenal are preparing for a demanding run of fixtures that includes a trip to St. James's Park to face Newcastle United, a side renowned for their intensity and defensive resilience. With Saka only just returning to full fitness, Arteta had been counting on Madueke to maintain balance on the flanks. Should the scans reveal a serious issue, the burden will again fall heavily on Saka, who himself has been carefully managed to avoid overexertion. Arsenal's injury list has been a persistent theme of the season so far. Martin Odegaard missed the clash with City after suffering a shoulder problem in the midweek victory over Nottingham Forest. The club captain was deemed close to featuring, but ultimately not fit enough to take part. While his absence is expected to be short-term, the disruption to midfield balance was evident against City, where Arsenal at times struggled to retain control in the central areas. Defensive recruit Piero Hincapié was also unavailable, the Ecuadorian center-back still working his way back to full match sharpness. His versatility across the backline was one of the reasons Arteta pushed for his signature in the summer, and his absence has reduced the manager's flexibility in rotating the back four during a congested schedule. In attack, long-term casualties Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus continue to frustrate the coaching staff. Both are sidelined with knee injuries of their own, with recovery timelines stretching further than initially hoped. Havertz's adaptation to Arsenal has been hampered by repeated setbacks, while Jesus, so pivotal to Arteta's pressing system and link-up play, has once again been unavailable during a key period. The cumulative effect of these injuries has been glaring. Arteta has often had to reshuffle his lineups, altering tactical plans, and relying on squad depth that is being tested to its limits. The introduction of younger players into matchday squads has provided opportunities, but also highlighted the thin margin for error when competing against rivals like City. Every absence feels magnified in games of such intensity, and Madueke's potential spell on the sidelines threatens to further destabilize the balance Arteta has been desperate to achieve. What makes the Madueke concern particularly significant is the momentum he had been building. Since stepping into the team, he has looked increasingly confident, his direct running unsettling fullbacks, and his work rate earning fans and pundits alike. A lengthy absence would not only derail his personal progress, but could also affect the chemistry developing between him, Saka, and Odegaard in advanced areas. For a team striving to mount a sustained title challenge, the loss of rhythm in attack can be decisive. Arteta, while remaining calm publicly, must be privately frustrated. This season was earmarked as a crucial step forward, building on last year's near miss and reinforcing with carefully chosen signings. Injuries, however, have repeatedly threatened to derail those ambitions before they can properly gather steam. The manager now faces the delicate task of balancing player welfare with the need to keep pace in the Premier League race. Supporters will anxiously await the outcome of Madueke's scans. Knee injuries are notoriously unpredictable. They can range from minor knocks, requiring a short rest, to serious ligament damage, demanding months on the sidelines. For Arsenal, the hope is that his withdrawal was precautionary, and that any issue proves minor. Yet the sight of him limping and wincing will linger uncomfortably in the minds of fans who have seen too many promising campaigns undermined by fitness problems. The silver lining comes with Saka's return to the fold. The England international has been the heartbeat of Arsenal's attack for several seasons, and his reintroduction could soften the blow if Madueke is ruled out. Saka's resilience has often been remarkable, playing through pain and fatigue to deliver consistently, though Arsenal will be wary of overburdening him once again. With Newcastle looming, his presence on the right flank could prove decisive in a game where margins will be fine. Odegaard's anticipated return in the coming weeks will also bolster Arsenal's creative options, ensuring the midfield has its orchestrator back. Hincapié, too, will be integrated soon, offering defensive depth. Yet the wider picture remains concerning. Arsenal's ability to challenge for major honors will rest heavily on how quickly their treatment room clears, and whether players like Madueke can return swiftly to full fitness. The reality for Arsenal is stark. The Premier League does not pause for injuries. Rivals continue to accumulate points and build rhythm, while every absence chips away at momentum. Arteta's tactical nous and squad management will be tested like never before in the coming weeks. Should Madueke be sidelined long-term, it could even push Arsenal towards revisiting the transfer market in January, seeking reinforcements to ensure the season's ambitions do not unravel.